Alright, so I'm going to be doing a Coleman lantern light up, and I'm going to show you just what it goes into getting the setup, because honestly this time this light up is taking me a little bit longer than the last time. So this here is going to be a portion of what I'm going to be lighting up. I haven't counted all of the lanterns that I'm going to light up, but I think my daughter said it was like 80 or so, if her counting was right. We'll find out. I'm not sure, but I'm going to show you, like I said, what it takes to get this going here. My plan was to do it July 4th, and that wasn't adequate enough. I was going to try last night, but there's still 6 lanterns that needed mantles, and I don't even know how many needed fuel yet. Quite a few, and that took, I think, just an hour getting them out here and getting them prepped in the area that they need to be. So like I said, there's we think 80. We'll have to do a count, but I'm gonna light all of these up. This took a lot of time. So part of the prep of this was going through and checking each individual mantle on the lantern to make sure it didn't have a hole in it, because I don't want cracked glass. I know some collectors won't use the original glass if they have it with the lantern, just because it could be old. Original glass or not is what I use on all of these. So like, let's see here. Alright, so this one here, that center of the screen with the yellow tag, that's got original glass. It's either what is that, a 220C, I think? Yeah, it looks like a 220C. So that's probably like 1945. That's how old the glass is. That's original. So the ones that have original glass, I am going to burn. I'm pretty careful with it. There's no reason in saving it. Honestly, I don't think there's a huge market in glass. Even if it is original, why not use it? That's what it was intended for. So a lot of prep time in this. So initially I was going to do a similar setup as one of my other videos where I lined them up on the sidewalk. But I decided to go a different way. So we had these out here because out in the garage, just because it was closer to the area, so we wouldn't have to walk so many out, because it takes a lot of time to walk these out. But now I've kind of changed my idea of what I'm going to do with it. So my new plan here is to do a light up in front of the garage, and I got 32 feet, so from to the left of the door here to the right of the garage door, we got 32 feet. And we marked it out with like a spacing, my daughter and I, with a little piece of chalk, and I think we figured we get 2 full rows of like the larger style lanterns, the 220, 275, 228s, for those that know what I'm talking about. And then we'll have a smaller, I call it half row in front of that, of like the smaller style 288s, 200s, etc., 242s. In front. So we'll see how that works out. Like I said, last night we were going to try and do it, but I didn't have everything prepped and ready to go, and this is, like I said, since July 4th. So and I don't think it's going to happen tonight, just because now they're talking to weather, there's a chance of storms. So I'm going to shoot for Labor Day weekend, I think, is I'm going to get everything set up and get going. Now, none of the lanterns have been pumped up, and as you could imagine, pumping up 80 lanterns, that's going to take quite some time. So I'll probably do a time lapse of this light up, and we'll see. Maybe it'll be the largest Coleman lantern light up on YouTube. We'll see. So how many mantles did I replace? Honestly, I don't remember. I do know that once I got into it, I realized I wasn't going to have enough on hand, and I don't use the Coleman mantles. The new ones that they have, they just don't work. They don't last very long. What I use are these here, which is the Peerless 2CHG. And I don't know how many are in a box like this, but there's a lot. My first box I started going through, and I was like, I'm not going to have enough once I started replacing mantles, so I bought another box. I think they're about 80 bucks a box. I got them off of eBay from somebody. So started replacing. I got a lot left in that box, which is good. But those last much longer than the new Colemans. If you get a pair of old Coleman silk lights, those are amazing. They burn super bright. They're super durable. Much better than the new ones that you can get today. So, and then like with this too, I don't know what they come out for price, but they're pretty reasonable. I know 80 bucks sounds like a lot, but there's a lot in here. They come in packs of 4, and I honestly don't know how many in a box, but there's a lot, like I was saying. So for fuel, a lot of my lanterns were empty because I like to store them without fuel. It just seems to work a little bit better. I've been using the cheap Crown fuel from Walmart. I can get this for, I think, about $8 a gallon. If you were to buy Coleman fuel, I think it's about 11 or maybe 13 a gallon. So, and you're probably asking yourself, well, how many gallons did he have to buy? What do we got here? 9 gallons? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So 8 of those gallons, the ones in the back, those are completely empty. This one has about a quarter left. So, I don't know. It's enough in fuel as well. It takes a lot. Like I said, this is going to be a family effort to get this light up off the ground. I couldn't do it myself. It's just going to take too long to get everything prepped and set up, and then getting them lit up, that's going to be a chore in itself. But I think it'll be well worth it once we get the final product out there. So other things too, going to be matches. I just buy these, the diamond strike matches. The one box is empty, the one box is about half. That was just burning in Mantles, and we'll also use those to start up the lanterns as well. 2 other things that I want to mention here are the tools. The wrench, not so much now, but we'll need that later. The utility knife, I use that to cut off all the strings on the Mantles. This here is a 1/2 inch open end. I use that in case we have some issues with the packing not leaking on the lanterns. That could be a dangerous situation where the gas would leak and then the lantern could burn up. So it's good to have that, because if these sit for a long time, some stuff could dry out or whatever, and you could end up with some leaks. So it's good to have that on hand, ready to go, not looking for it when you need it. So that'll have out when I do this light up as well. So here's just a closer look at what I got on the workbench here. I don't know if I'm going to lay them out in a chronological order or not. That takes time in itself too, doing that. And I don't know if it's really worth it or not. I don't know if I bought any lanterns this year yet, which is kind of odd. There have been some I've been kind of eyeing up and watching on different places, but I don't know if I honestly just don't have the time. So once things slow down here and I'm only working one job, then I'll have some more time to kind of explore and look around or whatever. And they're kind of hard to see here. They'll be much easier to see once I got the light up or whatever going on. So some of these are old, some of them are newer. But it's going to definitely take some time here to get everything going or whatever. So if you plan on doing a light up like this, if you have a collection of lanterns, even if you're only going to do a few, it always helps to have another hand just to get everything set up. And then make sure you got extra mantles. You're going to need matches, and whatever you figure in gas, you might as well buy another gallon, because it's never going to be enough. It seems like these things just love fuel. So, and my plan is to do the light up. I'll start it probably before 7 o'clock, so it'll be light, get everything going. And once I have everything going, I'm going to let them burn for as long as I can stay up. Just to burn out as much fuel and get as much enjoyment out of this, because like I said, this is a ton of time. I've been prepping this since the 4th of July, actually before the 4th of July, because that's when I was going to initially do this, but just did not have the time to get everything going here. This one back here, maybe I did buy one this year. This one back here with the John Deere yellow. I was going to make that into like a John Deere lantern or whatever. So they're not all perfect. They are all usable. I do have some lanterns in the house that I don't burn, just because those have never had fuel in them. They were kind of like out of the box new. So those I won't burn just because they've never had fuel. But the ones that have had fuel in them or have been burnt, game on. So, alright, so next weekend, let's hope I get this together and this whole project comes to fruition.